What's up, everybody? King of Fomo here, coming at you with your daily crypto update. So you guys have been watching my channel for the past couple of weeks, and you guys know that I'm into two separate projects, EGold and the Debt Box, to make money passively in the crypto space. So I'm going to give you guys an update on EGold today. Actually, within about 6 hours, depending if you're watching this, if you're a Patreon or if you're watching this on YouTube, this thing is launching pretty soon here, where you're going to actually be able to purchase some of these EGold from the auction. So I want to look at some numbers a little bit more deeply so you guys can understand more about what this project could be worth and how it's currently performing, because I know that a lot of that stuff can be very confusing if you don't understand all these numbers on the screen. So let's go ahead and break it down for you. So as you can see right here, there's 4,402 miners sold. So if you're unfamiliar with this, the miners, the way that they work, you're able to purchase these miners from anywhere from $20 to $2,500, and they give you a different amount of hash or meta hash so that you're mining to make this EGold token. So with 4,402 units, that is pretty good, but it doesn't really give us the amount of money that has been put into the system. How many people are actually interested in EGold? I know a lot of times with these newer projects, they can launch and they can ultimately end up flopping with only maybe 100 people or maybe 50 people actually actively using the system, and the marketing and the growth of the project is just simply not working. So here we have a little bit more details. I love the fact that they have the statistics here posted on the page. There's 1,998 unique wallets, which is about 2,000 people altogether. And for the mining capacity, or let's see, I think this is supposed to be a mining deployed right here. There's 2,679,000 meta hashes for mining deployed. Now I want to actually double check that to make sure that that's correct, because if you go to the mining calculator here, it actually shows you the current number of meta hashes. So this again says, yeah, 2,706,000 meta hashes. So what that means, if you guys look into this a little deeper, and I'll link this video, I don't want to waste your time too much, but what one of these videos does is it explains you kind of what EGold is. So definitely watch that if you're confused about what I'm talking about altogether. But essentially what that means is for every single meta hash, it equals approximately $1 that's been added into the system. So one meta hash is $1. That means the total amount of dollars that have been circulating throughout the EGold ecosystem as of right now is pretty close to $2.7 million worth of miners being purchased. So that gives you a little bit of an idea of where the price of this token could realistically be as people are going to get into this auction and start trying to get some of these EGold tokens. So why would people want to buy these EGold tokens on the auction anyway? Why not just buy it on PancakeSwap? Well, the idea is this. If you purchase these tokens on the auction, you get it at pretty much the exact equal fair price of everyone else who got the tokens on auction. And it also allows you to cash out immediately. So you can go ahead and use your EGold that you got from the auction to cash out and do some withdrawals from what you have. So I'll show you guys kind of my back office here and show you guys how much I've earned. So if I look at manage my miners and I look at my active miners, there's 2 that I have going right now. And altogether, my net yield that I can get out of this is about 60 EGold tokens. How much is that worth in dollars? I don't remember when I started this. I think it was maybe about a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks ago. So how much is that worth in dollars? How many EGold, how many dollars is 60 EGold going to be worth? Well, there's a couple of things that you have to consider when looking at this. And one of the things is how much is going to be purchased at the auction. So my thought process is this. I don't think people are going to go, it always is going to meet in the middle somewhere. So some people are going to actually just not buy the auction at all, even though they have EGold miners. Some people are going to buy the auction at a reasonable price, put a reasonable amount of BUSD in here, and some people are going to put a significantly higher amount of BUSD in here. So I think overall it's going to average out into the middle, and that middle section is what I want to focus on, because what is the average person going to do when they look at this EGold auction, and what are they going to say they're going to want to purchase? So this is the way that I think about it. So if you want to purchase EGold at auction, you're probably going to want to purchase pretty close to the amount that you're going to need to actually do claims here. So for me, it says my meta fuel fee is going to be 10 plus 50. It's going to be about 60 EGold to do that fee, to actually be able to pull out all 60 of my other EGold, right? So what that means is I'm going to try and accumulate at least 60 EGold in auction. So how much is that going to be? That depends on what I think the final price is going to be, but I do think that everyone's going to purchase approximately the amount that they need to cash out. So if we take a look at all of the EGold and kind of average out that number, if everyone wants to claim their 2.6 million metahashes worth of EGold, then they're going to want to be able to purchase that exact, I'm sorry, we're not looking at the metahashes, we're looking at the amount mined right now. So the amount mined is 176,000 EGold. And essentially what that means is they're going to have to be able to take out 50% of that, which is going to be, what is that, maybe 90 or 85,000 EGold is how much they're going to need to pull out of that. So I think at the very least, $85,000, maybe $75,000 is going to be put into this whole mechanism. If you look at the total amount that was spent, which is about $2.6 million, I think that $80,000 is a reasonable amount if people are actually planning this out, pretty averagely for what they're going to be pulling out. Now, people might actually be putting in a little bit more or a lot more than the price that they need to cash out right now. So for me, I need 60 EGold to cash out right now. People might put in that exact amount. But to be honest, if you're going to keep mining, or if you're going to look into the future and not want to do a claim right away, I'm going to need more than 60 EGold, because, 2 weeks from now, this amount could be double or triple that amount. So I might need 120 or 300 EGold altogether. So that's going to influence people's decision on how much they're going to buy in here as well. But I think that in any case, I think that $85,000 is the minimum, personally, that could be going into this auction. Now, I could be dead wrong. I could be right on the money. I could be completely off by a lot. But let's just take a look at what that means. What does $85,000 worth of BUSD mean? So this is a video purchased or created by Limbix, who is one of the kind of main guys behind this EGold operation. And he says about $75,000 is just this potential scenario. So if $75,000 goes into EGold, into this auction, and the auction ends, I think it's on the 17th of September, and that means that the price of EGold is going to be worth $10. So that's pretty close to my $85,000 prediction, which would put it at a little bit higher of a price. But nonetheless, I think that this is a pretty good price point, a pretty good price prediction, $10 for the EGold ecosystem. So what does that mean if we go back to what I have in mind right now? If I decided to cash out immediately as soon as the auction was over, now this would be more than the 60, it would be probably closer to maybe 70 or 80. But if I were to cash out the 60 right away, that's $600 worth of tokens earned so far, which again is really pretty nice, considering the fact that I started this thing probably a little bit under 2 weeks ago. And I think I put in, if we look at the price of this stuff altogether, so that's, if I get $600 back from my first claim, yeah, let's just see. I want to see how much I spent. I don't actually remember how much I spent. I'm pretty sure I bought one G3 miner and one G4 miner. So that's a grand total of, let's say, $2,500 plus $500, $3,000. Close to that. $600 out of $3,000 for 2 weeks is pretty darn good. And of course, the price of EGold is going to fluctuate a lot, because there will be people that didn't purchase in the auction and will say, I really want to cash out some of my funds right now. They're going to have to purchase on PancakeSwap. That's going to push the price of it up even more, and it's going to actually reduce the supply of EGold. So there's some numbers for you guys to take a look at. I do think that this system is designed pretty well, just to not turbo dump right away. As we've seen with a lot of other, BNB miner type of contracts, this one they really thought out a lot of kind of how this is going to work overall. So I'm excited to look forward to seeing what more EGold is going to do with their NFT, their ANFT, and how they're going to continue to grow this system and use this system differently. But I think that with that minimum price point, getting $600 in 2 weeks within a couple months, you'll get ROI, and then beyond that, you can get profits on top of that. Even if the product doesn't do extremely well, I think that breaking even, especially for the people that purchased, when I first made this video on this, is going to be pretty simple to do, pretty attainable. Not a guarantee, but it looks, the numbers are lining up to look like a ROI is going to be possible, plus a little bit more on top of that. Now, of course, if this thing really does take off like crazy, we could see some crazy high profits here. I mean, $85,000. If this thing does get like $850,000, I mean, just to start with people purchasing these miners, it was $2.6 million as of right now with people just purchasing miners. And if they get, let's just say they get $7.5 million or $750,000, you're looking at, let's just do $750,000 instead of $75,000. You're looking at a price point of $100 per EGold, and that's going to really multiply your earnings here. So the sky is the limit with where this thing can go. So hopefully that gives you guys a little bit more of a positive outlook of how this thing is doing. I know that if you don't really know how to do the math on your own, you're kind of left in the dust to scratching your head and understanding, how am I doing with EGold, and without having a price point available, without being able to swap on PancakeSwap or even cash out right now. Within a couple weeks, within actually a week, we'll have some better estimates about how EGold is doing, because you actually be able to do some trading with the actual token. Now, like I said, if you guys are watching this on Patreon, you're gonna have to wait about 6 hours. If you guys are watching this on YouTube, I think this should be open already. The way the auction works, and this will be real quick because all the directions are down here, you guys can read it yourself. But the way the auction works is pretty simple. You put in some BUSD, and after 7 days, depending on how much BUSD is put in, you're going to be distributed out a fair amount of EGold, depending on what everyone else put in. Obviously, the higher amount you put in, the higher amount of EGold you're going to get back. The less people put in, you know how it works. You know how auctions work if you've been in things like Hex and stuff like that. The only thing that I want to mention here is the difference between this auction and auctions like Hex or Axion is it's not a daily auction. So the amount of BUSD that goes in here is going to continue to accumulate until the 17th. And that's the cutoff date. That's going to determine the price of the EGold. So there's no rush. You don't have to, get in here on day 1 or day 3 or day 9 or day 6. Just within the next 7 days, if you're deciding to do the auction, and then make sure you claim on the 8th day, because it will be burnt if you don't claim it. That's everything for today, guys. Like, comment, subscribe. If you're not a Patreon, consider becoming a patron to get access to my videos earlier than everyone else. We'll be talking about the debt box a little bit later too. That's actually performing pretty well as well. Catch you guys in the next video. Peace out.